So that's really opened for us a totally new market, which is the industrial engineering, where these guys are really very much equipped with scans. They do models, and they need all these models to be combined in VR.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge von Cut Talk, dem Podcast rund um Computer-Aided Design. Mein Name ist Jörg Lantsch und ich spreche mit meinen Gästen über interessante Neuerungen aus der Branche. Mein heutiger Gast kommt nicht aus dem deutschen Sprachraum, weswegen wir mal wieder eine Episode in Englisch produzieren. Yes, today my guest is Philippe Acas, who's Chief Business Officer at Vrex in Norway. We found out that my Norwegian is exactly as good as Philippe's German, so we decided to do this episode in English. Our topic today will be the possibilities of virtual reality in BIM. Hello, Philippe.
Hello, good morning.
When I first looked at your website and your company, it immediately came to my mind that's something that could be from gaming, huh? For the kids, what they do, virtual reality in gaming with many participants in the same software. Perhaps you can explain a little bit about the history of your company, where you come from, and your personal experience as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah, the company was founded like 2015, and basically the founder was working before with Disney in London and working in the gaming industry. So as you said, kids now, they play several people all together in a game and they can interact. And basically, this is what we do today, but in a professional world for the building industry, industrial customers too. And the whole idea is like collaborate, communicate, be together in virtual reality. So as you said, it kind of similar as the multi-gamers, multiplayers, I would say. But this time is for real work and making decisions and actually achieve some tasks, which is not, it's so fun, but it's much really working, not gaming anymore. But it's the same concept, you would say. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I look at your beard, that's the same color as mine, approximately. So you're not a youngster.
No.
So you probably have a long track record what you did in the industry.
Yeah, well, I've been into the BIM, let's say, building information modeling for a few years now. Well, usually I'm saying that I've been young for longer than you, basically. But yeah, I've been through quite a few different jobs in this BIM kind of business, and yeah, I really like it. I think the building industry is expanding and let's say, embracing the new world of digitization and creating models and using the capacities of, softwares and to improve the quality of project. The building industry is not exactly the front-forward thinking into technologies usually, but these days it's really catching up. There's a lot of things happening like robots and scanning and 3D models and digital twins and you name it. So a lot of things are happening now. I think there's a new generation of people in the engineering and construction industry that are really coming up with new ideas and new tools and new ways of working, really. That's really interesting, actually.
Let's talk a little bit about your concept, your product or software, virtual reality in BIM models. How does it exactly work? When I first had a look at it, I said, well, the hardware must be pretty sophisticated and expensive, but that's not the case, right?
No, actually, it's fairly simple if you think about it. A virtual reality headset is just a 3D screen. It's just like two lenses and you have this distortion, so you feel like you're in 3D. So it's just like another screen, but the big thing is like you feel like you are in the model. You're not looking at it, you're in it. And you are the same scale, you're one-on-one. So you really have a great perspective of things, of volumes, distances, sizes of things. And this gives you a really good understanding of the model in general, especially for people who they're not used to having 3D models all day long, but they need to make a decision about the project. And you need the stakeholders to decide. So those people are really let's say, most beneficial from a VR experience, because they can really understand the model much better than if they had just a screen to look at, because they can really look around and make their own decisions. That's really, really key. And our software, Vrex, is really dedicated to collaboration in VR. So as you said, we are multi-players, we are multi-members or multi-stakeholders in a meeting. It's like a meeting, but instead of walking in the building and checking things because the building is already there, then you do this before the meeting is actually created, and you can see and detect potential issues really early stage in the process of the project. So you can really fix things before it's too late. Then it's going to be expensive. You're going to have delays. It's going to cost you a lot of money, frustrations, everything. In that case, you avoid a lot of those issues, and you save time and money, basically. And that's why the tool is actually designed for, really.
Well, that's always the case. Saving money is beneficial in any project. Huh? Let's talk a bit about the software. It's similar to what we are using today. It's Teams, but in 3D. And you're not like in a meeting room or facing each other, but you can work together, collaborate in the model. How is this done? Let's say you have a BIM model, and then one of the participants has to host your software, right? And the others are just invited?
Yeah. First of all, like you said, it's quite similar to Teams. We say it's Teams on steroids, because it's really like that. It's really like you're having a meeting. But instead of one person sharing a screen, everybody is in the model. Everybody is active and completely focused on the tasks and actually active in the model. So it's really another level of collaboration in the project. So the basically it's working really. It's very easy. You create a project in Vrex. You upload some models. You invite some people, and people download the viewer. They just open the viewer, get into the project, or put their headset on, and there you go. You can talk to each other, and you can start using tools like a laser pointer. You can draw, you can measure, you can do clipping plans, take pictures, etc., etc. So it is really very easy to adopt the tool within 5 minutes. People usually get it. It's very simple. It's very natural. And actually, VR is really the entry level of BIM, if you think about it, because you don't need to know anything about any specific software. You just open the viewer, put the headset on, and you're in the model, and you can already make decisions. And so it is the easiest way to do BIM. I usually say people do BIM without knowing they're doing it when they use Vrex. Really, that's how it is, because it's so simple.
When it comes to communication between the users, they can just talk like we do it now with a headset and a microphone. But if you want to take decisions, there's somebody. If you have it in a real building, there's an architect and the owner of the building, and one is jotting down notes. How is this done in your software? You need some sort of annotations to the model, and similar things.
Yeah, what you do is there's some kind of issue management, but you can create an issue, or if you created an issue before in some other software, you can open the issue and teleport yourself to that particular place in the model. Teleport everyone, because you can teleport yourself to someone, and you can teleport them to you. You can gather everyone, so it's really very easy. And then you can just talk about this particular topic and make a decision. You can add more comments, you can take a picture, draw, etc. And then the person who has to change the model will receive this issue, and will be able to geolocalize the issue, because it's a BCF. The camera is geolocalized in the model. So by opening it, because a pipe looks like a pipe, right? Or a door looks like a door. So when you have 1,000 doors in a project, it's difficult to figure out where it is. But with the BCF, it's geolocated in the project. So you open that, and that particular door will appear in front of you. So then you can make the change in the model and make sure that the workflow is constant, and the data is correct all the way. So that's really how it works. So you can open an issue already created, or you can create an issue in Vrex that can be used later on for the the guy who's going to make the model and the change in the model. So that's really the workflow. Vrex is designed to be part of the BIM process. It's not a side of the BIM. It's not the Hollywood BIM like people think VR, like fancy stuff, and I'm going to see something beautiful. Vrex is not this kind of software. It is really a working software where we use technical drawings, technical models, and to make technical decisions, basically. So that's the whole point of Vrex.
Well, talking about collaboration and workflows, read something about Brixis 24/7, which is a collaboration platform for BricsCAD for BIM, where you can assign tasks, forward it to other people in the team who has to take care of it. How does this integrate to your system?
Today, our connection with 24/7 is not 100% because we don't have the API connection today. They're working on it, and as soon as this is possible, you will be able to open a BCF, which is the issue. It's a BCF format, a BIM collaboration format. This is an international standard, open standard that any other software can open. It's like a PDF for communication, basically. When you have that, you can either open an issue from 24/7 or create an issue in Vrex, which will be in 24/7. Today, the connection we have is mostly about models, but not about issues, just one step to go.
Okay, good. Coming back to what you said before, that it's a real working system and not something you call it Hollywood VR.
Yeah, Hollywood BIM.
It's Hollywood BIM. It's not thought that let's say the owner of the building can get a real impression. So it's like renderings and animated things are not part of your system, right?
No, because from the beginning you have a choice to make when you start a VR solution today because of capacity of networks and machines. Basically, either you do the rendering, so you do a beautiful landscape and texture, shadows and the sun and all this kind of stuff. And that's really, really nice. You need that to sell a project as an architect, for instance, or to communicate to the audience in a large audience. But it's not going to help you to build the building. The engineers, they don't really care if the grass is green and if the carpet looks nice. They want to make sure the column is in the right place and is strong enough to hold the building. And that's what you do with Vrex. So you can use your own VR system for different things. It could be communication, selling a project, selling an idea, but you can also use it to collaborate and work on more technical things and more technical points. And it's like I say, you have your PC, you can use Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Well, with your VR equipment, you can use Vrex and other softwares in VR, which are doing different things. But it's a choice to make because having all this texturing takes a lot of memory and bandwidth. And this will not allow to use massive models like we do today in Vrex.
You told me that part of your customers are not only from the AEC industry, but from industrial plants and things like this. Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about this. What is the reason for them to have a BIM model? There's
many reasons. First of all, in the industry, they are a little bit more advanced when it comes to modeling things, and they use point cloud a lot. They do a lot of scanning because in a factory, it's not a static thing. The factories are moving. They are changing equipment. They are expanding the line or this kind of stuff. So usually what they do, they will scan the existing line of production, and then they will design a new machine, a new equipment. They want to make sure that it's going to fit in the new line, the way they're going to access, maintain, how the operators are going to work around it, and all this kind of stuff. And this, they can combine point cloud and the models and get it approved by the customer, and then they can build the machine. And the equipment will fit in the production line. So for them, it's really key to have point cloud and model. And today, Vrex is the only platform in VR we can actually put point cloud and VR together. So that's really opened for us a totally new market, which is the industrial engineering, where these guys are really very much equipped with scans. They do models. They also have a building. Factory is also a building. So they have a lot of networks and pipes and electricity and powers. And they need all these models to be combined in VR. And they are very much, into point cloud models together. I had already 6 meetings today nearly about all this. Always point cloud first and then models on top and mix that. How do we do that? So it's really one of the key points for the industrial engineering, and that's something we see coming a lot to us these days. Yeah.
Good. Let's have a little view into the future. What will be next? Will, let's say in 10 years or so, every architect or industrial engineer, when they do plannings and models and need decisions from their customers, will do it in VR?
Well, the VR adoption is going up really fast now. There's many companies who started like 2-3 years ago with us. Now they have like maybe all the engineers have it by their desk, because again, it's just another screen really, and they already have 2 or 3 screens anyway. So the VR headset is just another screen. So I would say a lot of companies are just starting to look at it to understand, what can we do with this? It looks like there's some kind of buzz around VR, but what can we do with this? And very often it's a guy who's got a headset back home, and he says, hey, maybe I can try it with my models at work. And they realize it's working, and they realize, maybe we can do this and this and that. So in the few years from now, because the headset price will go down, the capacity of the headset will go up, the price will also decrease. It's a trend that we see all the time. This will allow to have even lighter headsets, maybe just like a pair of glasses instead of this huge headset that we still have today. Mind you, some years ago we had the satellites and it was very complex. Today you just plug it in your PC and that's fine. You can even use it without plugging to your PC. And soon enough, you can use it without a PC at all, just like a Wi-Fi connection to, like a tablet, for instance. And you can be able to do some streaming. So it's going to be much easier to use VR like a regular, tool that you have on your desk, and nothing more fancy than anything. It's not like people maybe think VR is like this fancy high-tech stuff. It's not. It's a few $100s. It's not crazy. It doesn't cost much more than a good screen, actually. And why not? And if you can benefit from using this and seeing in 3D your models, well, why not do it? And most of our customers, they start with 1 or 2 or 3 users, and they end up having nearly all of their companies. And the use cases add up and add up. Some people use it for just checking models for themselves before they deploy the models. Collaboration, of course. Then the marketing guys think it's really nice to talk about VR. Then the salespeople love to show this is how we're going to work on your project with VR. The customers think, okay, this is a good company. HR use it as well to recruit new engineers, to say, yeah, we're on top of the high tech and this is how we work. There's a many aspects of using VR in a company today. And I see this more and more. It's just not just one use case. It's plenty of use cases all over the company. So it's more like a corporate tool than a just project tool. It could be much wider.
So you're quite confident to sum it up that you have a bright future. There's a lot of growth for your company.
The trends in VR you see when you see all these large companies like Google, Sony, and Lenovo, and all these guys are launching headsets these days. And this year there will be 3, 4, 5 more kind of headsets with these huge companies behind. There's going to be a huge marketing push. There's going to be an adoption of VR. All over, not only the gaming and the consumer market, of course, because that's the mass volume, but the high quality headsets, professional headsets, they're coming as well. And when it comes to a professional world, VR is going to be just like another thing. We have a lot of universities asking us to use our software in their courses, and most of the largest companies, especially in Germany, we have a TU Darmstadt, and we have I think 6 or 7 universities in Germany. They are educating their students with VR. So now when these guys going to come into their job, and they're going to say, what? You don't use VR here? See? So this wave of youngsters coming in, these companies, and they're gonna shake up the whole thing and gonna say, hey, this is the way to work today. This is really a tool that's useful. And I'm quite confident there's no way back. It's like, would you take your phone with a cable again? No, you take your mobile phone. You don't go backwards. That's the same with VR.
That's a very good comparison. So, Philippe, thanks a lot. This was a very interesting discussion. I hope the audience liked it as well.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Have a nice day in Norway.
All right. Thank you. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ihnen hat diese Folge des Podcasts gefallen? Dann empfehlen Sie uns doch bitte weiter. Vielleicht haben Sie Kollegen oder Bekannte, die sich auch für das Thema CAD interessieren. Verwenden Sie einfach den Link www.cuttalk.de für Ihre Weiterempfehlung. Dort finden sich alle Links zu Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast und so weiter. Für heute sage ich Tschüss und ich hoffe, dass wir uns in der nächsten Folge wiederhören.